Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Just setting everything up here. Adam, Jerry, and Jerry, what's going on? I got some questions of yours that I will be answering today, as well as many, many other questions from previous episodes. So get your thinking caps on, y'all. Enjoy the music from yours truly. Let's get into this. You guys had a lot of good questions, and I can't wait to get to them. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fill up the chat, y'all. Come in. We're going to get started in just a quick second. Enjoy the tunes, the melodic rhythms. Misael, much love. Manny Pinocchio. Gilo TV. Much love. Sometimes I got these scary visions, nightmares, and intuitions of innocent women and children who's held up in prisons. Yo, who's gonna listen? Screw it, I'ma keep it inside. Since nobody's listening, nobody's gonna, yeah. Okay, that is enough of that. Let me bring that out slowly. Nice fade. Cut my camera off for y'all. Peace, peace. Welcome, welcome. Got a special show today. The question and answering shows is, I love these shows because, all week you guys are waiting for this, right? Ever since the video drops, you guys ask your questions and I can't get to them all. And this is what we're waiting for. First, I would like to open up with some affirmations, for everybody out there, no matter what you're going through. I want you to breathe in through your nose and close your eyes and just repeat the words. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my wealth. I am abundance. I experience love. I show love. I am whole. I am involved with the manifestations in my reality. I create my own situations, thus I can create a better situation. Thank you. And you just feel big. You know, you just feel really big. So that's to everybody out there. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Green Stream question and answer period. And let me pop out the chat so I can see you guys while I do this to take some questions live as well. Live chat, pop out. Okay, so let's start off with the stream that we had for the detoxing. Okay, because that was the first. Welcome into the chat, everybody. We got 10 watching now. It'll boost up. All right, let's get into this. Okay, and if I ever drop off any bars, just let me know, and I'll get right back to it. Minimize. Okay, so the first question comes from the detox. That was episode 6. Epic show, guys. Epic show. I mean, I just rewatched it to make sure I got all the questions, and I mean, I'm proud of myself. You know, epic show. Episode 6, detox. That was one of the best green streams, and I really felt that it helped a lot of people. The last green stream that we did was episode 7, and that was on supplements, and we got a lot of great questions from that as well. And the supplement game, I mean, damn, if 51% of the population knew what I just divulged to you guys about supplements, this world would change overnight, for real. So let me make sure everything is going here. Everything is good. 12 watching. Much love. Peace. Drop your questions in the chat, and we are definitely going to get to it. Okay, so the first question tonight comes from the detox stream. Can we regenerate and grow teeth? Can we regenerate our teeth? In my research, I'm gonna say yes to a point. There is a fountain feeding each tooth, live waters that are flowing in and out of every tooth. Okay, it's keeping the flow going. Remember, anything stagnant is dead. It putrefies, right? So your tooth could actually get sensitive and then start turning color, then wiggle, and then chip away and go brown, whatever, right? It can chip away. Your tooth can degrade, but as long as it has that fountain, that that water sustaining it, then you can remineralize your teeth. Now they say that once you lose the enamel, you can't get it back, and you know, once your teeth get more hollow and brittle, there's no reversing it. But that's a lie. You are a living, changing hologram. Okay, you are a representation of light and of waveforms, and just like you can grow a hateful thought, or you can grow a happy thought, you can change your habits. It's never too late. You can also remineralize your teeth and make your teeth denser, and actually start to regrow some of the lost tooth. Now, I'm not promising all of it, and I'm not promising that it will happen, because the amount, the regiment that you need to do that, the oily fats, you know, every night coating your mouth, whether it's from avocados, nuts, or coconut oils, grapeseed oils, hemp seed oils, stuff like that. The fats are going to keep the air out. Okay, it's going to seal. If you brush your teeth, end it off with like an olive oil or a coconut oil or something. It's going to seal the teeth from outside oxygen, and it's going to seal it from your bacteria. You can also do oil pulling, which is where you put oil in your mouth, like coconut oil, and you leave it there for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you spit it out, and then you rinse that away. You can also do wheatgrass pulling or moringa pulling, which is basically putting these high mineral, and they're liquid minerals, remember, high concentrated mineral leaves into your gums and your teeth before bed, after you brush your teeth, in the morning, and at night, whenever. This is going to, as it breaks down, it's going to feed your gums the iron, and it's going to feed your teeth the calcium and all that, everything that's needed, the magnesium, which is very important. Okay, so on that type of a strict regimen, with the no animal fats, lack of fried foods and processed foods, and definitely sugars, that's obvious, and proper toothpaste, natural clay-based toothpaste, which we've talked about. Yes, you can definitely regain your smile via regrowing your teeth. So I hope that really inspires you guys. The denture industry is huge. The dentistry industry is huge. More than half of these diseases we get are possibly stemming from the dentist visits. I mean, cutting up the gums, the fear alone, and all of that. New Fee Kenny, peace, mental pancakes. I like that name. What's going on? Love you guys. Thank you guys for joining. Peace, power, and protection, as I always say. Prince Alex asks, hey, Master, do you know if hair loss is genetics or a lack of nutrition? Now, I don't believe in genetics for anything else other than like race and your sex, or maybe how prone you are to using drugs, if it was in your system as when you were in the womb, all of that. But when it comes to actual genes and your DNA code, we can turn off genes and we can turn them on, and that is scientifically proven. We can even turn on genes through laser stimulation, and that means we can definitely turn it on through thought stimulation, and we can most easily and readily turn it on through proper nutrition. Bless up, mental pancakes. So the thing about genetics is that it's not that we have the same conditions as our parents, is that we are handed the same diet. We hand down the same foods. We were raised on the pizza and the sushi, and we eat the pizza and the sushi, and then we feed it to our young. And then we say things like, just like mom used to make, oh, it doesn't taste like mom used to make. We got to figure out how to make it taste just like hers. Oh, this is a family recipe dating back 4 generations and all of that, right? We need to, like, the thought forms of race against other people have changed through the generation, right? We raise our kids to be less judgmental, less prejudicial, less racist, less bigoted than ourselves, than our parents, than our grandparents. A lot of our grandparents are still racist, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's, welcome to the 21st century, you know what I mean? And so just like the thought form would get handed down in a mentally sick household with race and bigotry, so does diet. And because there are comfort foods and there's tapeworms and other parasites in there that want us to keep on eating it, then we don't really look at the diet that's been handed down, the recipes, as something that needs changing. In fact, we look at it as something that needs upholding and should pass down. And then you have all the cooking shows telling you, oh, this is the traditional French meal and we have to make it like this. And, oh, it doesn't taste like it's from France. And like, you know what I mean? We have to change, guys. We got to change. So the genetics and hair loss, it's 1,000% nutrition. Now, a lot of people, when they get hair loss, they buy castor oil, maybe with some rosemary in it, to stimulate the blood. Castor oil is very great. And again, another oil, another fat to facilitate nutrient retention and growth. Okay, I'm dropping jewels. Peace, matters. I'm dropping these jewels, guys. You can get peppermint based, shampoos and whatever to help stimulate it. But that's just putting bandages on the cut, okay? You want to make the healing and the regeneration happen from the inside out, all right? And that is the number one way. How do you do that? Avocados and avocado oil. Nuts, right? They got the fat. You want to look at what your hair is and eat that. Copper and iron, or keratin. What's in the hair? Look at that and then say, okay, well, that's what I got to do to feed that. So you look at the keratin. You look at things like anything orange bell peppers and turmeric, things like that. That has the keratin in it. Okay. What else? Copper, things like mangosteen, beets, whatever, right? Whatever you got to do. The thing that is taking your hair away is the acidic dairy, the eggs, and the meat, the flesh, okay? And the concentrated sugars like the sodas, okay? Sodas is so dehydrating as well as alcohol, but mainly sodas because we drink it by the 2 liter, right? Um, that is going to rob your life force, and it's going to degrade your blood, and the blood is what feeds the follicle, the hair follicles, okay? So clean blood, good hair, lots of fats, lots of nutrition transport. Remember, the fats are like the lifeboats on your river of life. If you're eating the nutrients like a salad, it'll be accompanied with a fat like an oil, and that oil will help carry the iron and the other nutrients all throughout your body. Why? Because oil repels water, right? So if a nutrient like iron and all that other stuff can get caught up in the oils, then it's going to it's going to that oil bubble is going to carry it through your watery body, and it's going to make it last way longer because oil does it repels water, right? They don't mix. Dropping jewels for you guys. Dropping jewels. And you know what? I'm so happy to do it. This is what really moves me, man. I get so excited. And when I can't do it, I'm like, damn, like the people out there, they want the questions and their answers. I see the questions. It's crazy busy out there with work and being an entrepreneur. It's nuts. Okay. So let me quickly blow my nose and cut my microphone while I do it. Yeah, we're expecting about 40 centimeters of snow, which is insane. Okay, so let's get to the chat. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Ma'aters, Inquisitive Bunny, great information flowing. Inquisitive Bunny, I have some questions of yours that I'm going to be answering, so please stick around. Okay, all right, yeah, pick up those jewels, guys. I love it. I'm not on a high horse or anything like that, but no, I mean, this is what I'm doing, man. I love it. Spent enough time and years and money on learning about this stuff, so sharing it with people that are actually interested in learning, unlike your family and friends, it invigorates me, man. Okay, so let's get back to this. Okay. So if the blood is clean and you got the fats to carry the nutrients, then it's going to make it to your hair follicles, and your hair is going to be, growing nice and thick, and you can recover bald spots again. I experienced the first noticeable thing when I went vegan was that my nails were hard as rocks. Me, I'm a person that like kind of fidgets around, I guess, like in class. So I pick my nails. I pick them off just to like cut them. I don't carry nail clippers around, so I'll like rip my nails off. And I noticed that it was very easy to do all my life. I just grab a corner, you tear at it, and then rip it. But I know it might be gross to some people. But ever since I became vegan, it's like I have to like damage it. I have to make like an incision first with like my teeth, and then get like an anchor point, and then rip. And then even when I do rip, I'm like, ow, like I feel like I'm gonna rip my whole damn nail off. So I know that they're growing really, really strong, and they're growing really fast. Like I've never had to cut my nails and my toenails so frequently. And my hair, my brother's balding, my dad's bald. I'm, full head of hair. I'm the only vegan. So I mean, it feels great to win and be peaceful at the same time. You know what I mean? Okay, so Ahmed Delight or Ahmed Delight. Once we detox and the environment is toxic, especially the outdoors, Then what? And then somebody named Clownies, they replied, then we detox the environment. I loved that reply. I had to include that in. But she says, or he says, once we detox the environment, what about the outside? No, he says, once we detox and the environment is toxic, especially the outdoors, then what? Meaning, yeah, we clean our bodies, but then we go back out into the dirty outdoors. Well, what I have to say about that is, you know, just as long as you're getting that clean, good water in, and you are eating the good oxygen, life-giving fruits, vegetables, herbs, and whatever, then we won't have to really worry about the outside as much, because we're gonna build up a defense in our home first, right? And then what we want to do is we want to stay on the maintenance, right? We want to keep on taking the chlorella, which is going to trap the heavy metals. We want to keep on taking the zeolite clays and the bentonite clays to trap the parasites. You know what I mean? So it's just about daily maintenance. And the sicker you are, the more mucus and pus you have in your body, the more bacteria is allowed to fester. The more it grabs onto those free radicals, and it grabs onto those tapeworms and other eggs and stuff like that. So when you keep a pure body, your whistle is clear, right? A lot of times if you do your laundry, the first load of laundry that you do, and really think about this, guys. The first load of laundry that you do, when you take out the lint trap, it's not that bad. But the second time, it's like tenfold as bad. Okay, and then the third time, it's even thicker and thicker. It compounds, and this is because when you have a clear screen, a lot's able to come through. But when you have little bits of lint clogging the screen after that first wash, it's going to be able to magnetically grab on to other pieces. So it's just compounding faster and faster and faster. Okay. It's the same as a strainer, as a sieve. If you're juicing and you're putting soup through, or juice or whatever, once a couple, you use it and then you wash it out, and you use it and you wash it out, but over time it starts to build up permanently. You know what I mean? Because you can't really, it's hard to wash a sieve really good, and then you'll notice that it doesn't filter out as fast as it used to, right? It's blocked up, and then that grabs onto other fibers, and then it blocks up another square. So the compounding effect happens when you're unclean. So you want to clean your body, your instrument, and the outside, it won't affect you as much because it won't have as much dirty things to grab onto. And I hope that made sense. True OC. Don't be scared of going against the system. Basically, you got prescribed 20 minutes of sunshine a day, and the doc also said iodine is good, and raw fruits and nuts. So with that, I want to talk about the iodine. I always talk about going to the source. Now, the highest amount of iodine that we can find in nature exists in the seaweed, okay? And a lot of us have iodine deficiencies, and that's why our thyroid is out of whack, and that's why our mood, depression, and appetite is out of whack, usually in hyperdrive. So the iodine from the seaweed is great. It's liquid. It's a great thing to get in you. Now, for oral use, you can get the iodine drops. The iodine drops have been shown to kill pathogens on site, okay, and bacteria. So it's great to dip into your toothbrush and add into your toothpaste, okay? Iodine is very good for the mouth. And remember, all the diseases, it happens here. The digestion happens at the mouth, okay? That's where it all starts. Really, it starts here, but that's another level. Mental pancakes. Can I talk about candida? Candida is just basically a type of fungus that grows in a very acidic environment, okay? If you think about putting away your dinner, say you have like chicken and rice and potatoes, and you put that in the fridge, and then 3 years later, you open it up and it's all furry. It's got that white fur and it's got the spores. Same thing that's happening in your body, okay? You're eating a lot of sugars, a lot of animal meats that's creating pus and mucus, and that is fermenting and sitting in you, putrefying you for years and years and years. So it's kind of like going into your Tupperware after that long, hot summer day of work, and then you open it and it stinks. That same environment, once it putrefies, and the sugars that you're eating, not just the sugars from the sweets, but from the sugars from the white bread and the white rice, once it breaks down and the empty carbs create the sugars, it is feeding that candida. And so a lot of tapeworms and bacteria and other pathogens love to swarm around that environment. And then the candida, after too much overload of those uh, noxious gases that are created from the fermenting and the breaking down in that area, your body, it will try to create a plant cell. And that is what we call cancer. It creates a plant-like cell in your body because plants take in carbon dioxide and other gases that are harmful to us, and it pumps out oxygen. And that's what a tumor or a cyst or anything like that is trying to do. It's your body stopping creating animal cells and creating plant cells so it can live the other reversal of life. Because hey, you're not doing it, you're not giving your body a time to breathe, so it's going to create cells that can breathe for you simply. And I hope that makes sense. Marve asks, no, sorry, Billionaire Bit Club asks, Masterpiece, what are my thoughts on colonics? Well, on the detox episode and the episode before that, I talked a lot about colonics. Colonics, enemas, aka. It's a great thing. I can't say anything, I can't say too much about it. It's, everybody knows it's good to stay hydrated, but from the time you drink the water and it goes into your colon, it's just merely dripping, if at all. It's like seeping into your colon, right? It's seeping in. It's like hydrating passively almost. So what we want to do is we want to take the actual hose and we want to wash down our car and our equipment, our house, our windows. We don't wait for the rain to fall and then we soap up our car, because the rain, it doesn't have that hard hitting, sudsy, disturb it and uplift the dirt type of effect, right? It's a gentle rain, and that's what happens when we drink. So we want to do the enemas or the colonics to get that torrenting water right in there and uplifting up under the crevices and get it all out. It's the best. Much love, and I'm getting to everybody's questions. Avocado, hemp, and tea tree oil for face and hair, and even your teeth. Okay. Seaweed, yes, get the seaweed and rehydrate it with some water, put it in a soup, do whatever you want. Marve asks, start with the basics, clean your room thoroughly. It's not a question, it's a comment, and that is a very profound thing to say, so that's why I included it, because when you have a Valentine's Day card, or you have a breakup note, or you have a picture of you and your ex, or you have a goal that you used to want to attain but you don't want anymore, your thoughts have changed, or when you have CDs of music that you don't really agree with anymore, clothing that you went to raunchy parties with and you don't really wear anymore. Things like this are clogging up your house, the vibrations, the resonating vibrations of that. You know what I mean? If you have this and it's like a depressing breakup note from your ex, and you keep that in your room, those words are continuing to vibrate all those negative things. Even if it's not negative, it can be stale. It doesn't have the, you haven't opened up your dream book and reinvigorated it in a while and updated the purpose of it. You haven't gone through your clothes and updated and reinvigorated the spiritual aspect of it, of saying, yes, I love this. I love these colors. You have a lot of clothes that's building up dust and taking up space. The spring cleaning aspect should be done quarterly, 4 times a year. We should, no doubt, eyes open finally. We should definitely be clearing out those vibrations, because everything is vibrational, right? Even the food we eat. So if the foreign matter that we eat that has a vibration is negative, and we're talking about detoxing, getting it out, then we got to do that with our household too. We got to do that because the dust is mostly skin. There's a lot of bacteria and parasites that are just waiting to get into your mucous membrane system, and just a lot of the negative energies, that we don't need. So definitely clean up house. That's good advice. Matters asks, how does high acidity affect the lungs? Well, I'm not going to say that high acidity itself affects the lungs, but how it could affect everything is just a lower function, right, of your body. So if your lungs are supposed to be taking in air and delivering oxygen to your blood, heating your body up, trapping bacteria and getting rid of them, expelling them, all that stuff like that, then if it's operating in an acidic environment, and all those cells are operating in an acidic environment and not communicating with each other, you can have a lot of different types of manifestations of dis-ease, but all dis-ease is just an unbalance. So if you are smoking a lot, that's acidic, you know what I mean? And that is going to directly affect your lungs. If you are, say you drink a lot of dairy, okay? The dairy is so acidic and mucus and pus creating that you're going to get backed up, and it's going to come out in your lungs, because your lungs are continuously regenerating and pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing. So it is like a sponge, and it's like squeezing the impurities out of you. So even though you're not taking the dairy in through the lungs, just having it in your bowels is going to create the mucus and the pus everywhere that is going to be touched by your lungs, and it's going to back you up and create a lot of phlegm in your lungs. And you can hear it when people, they drink their milk, and it's like blah, 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 all that. One moment. Sorry about that, everybody. I just have to go open the door for someone. Peace, 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 peace. Thank you for sticking around, you guys. More jewels for the dropping. All right. Okay, let's see. Misael, only the wise asks, for a cancer diet, you must stop all sugar intake. And I am going to say, yes, I agree with that, because if you are eating sugar, then you're going to sugar. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is, a lot of people will say, oh, I was diagnosed with cancer. My doctor told me to stay away from sugars, and apples and grapes have sugar in it, and berries have sugar, so I can't eat that. And I want to say that that is profoundly the wrong kind of thought. Um, when you say I have cancer or diabetes and I got to stay away from sugar, we're talking about isolated sugars, syrups, corn syrups, malts, um, candies, things like that, sodas, white rices, white potatoes, and things like that. Okay, things that when they're broken down, they're so debased from nature that the sugar is left to wreak havoc. And what I want to say is that if you have cancer or diabetes or something, then you want to go to the watery fruits like the watermelon and the berries, because it's a whole it's a whole food and it's intact. So the thousands of phytonutrients are going to actually really benefit you in ways that you don't know, you can't prescribe. Okay. Um, this is where I kind of have to add a little bit of warning. Some people's bodies are so toxic that when they eat fruits, the fruit acid in it, like the lemon, the grapefruit and the strawberries, things that are acidic on the outside and are really good for cleaning. You know what I mean? These fruits can actually clean their bodies so well, so fast, that it cleans off the grease and the grime in their systems, and it sends it into their bloodstream and their digestion tract, that they feel sicker. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you got your oven, and there's a bunch of dried up oil on it everywhere, and you get the Vim, or you get your lemon based spray, and you spray it all over, and instantly those little brown blots of oil start to kind of just release out, and then you wipe it away, and it's clean. But in that releasing, you have made the surface more dirty. So when you have to kind of be careful. If someone that is very, very toxic, smokes all the time, drinks all the time, eats fried food all the time, fast food, stuff like that, and then they say, I have cancer, I have diabetes, you may want to start them off with cooked foods first, cooked fruits first, cooked pineapple, sauteed blueberries, sauteed strawberries, you know what I mean? Things like that, because a barbecued watermelon, if you haven't tried it with black pepper, very nice. This is because the cooking, the heating up of it breaks it down a little bit, and it lessens the strength of that cleaning acid, so that when they take it in, it's not going to do such a good job of removing that grime and stuff like that, so they won't feel so sick. But the sugars, the fructose, there's glucose and fructose. Okay, glucose you can get from the sugars of almost anything. You know what I mean? It's not good for you. But the fructose, that's specifically just from the fruit family, and that fruit family, um, when it's in its whole food form, the strawberries, any berries, the watermelon, apples, then it is fully utilized by the body. And it not only does it give you the energy that you need to get up and go to the gym and get up and make a change in your life and make more money so you can afford the organic food and stuff like that. You want that energy in you. Not only does it have that, but it has the antioxidants to keep your cancer at bay. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to say about the fruits with the cancer situation. If they're very toxic, you may want to gently cook the food first. Okay, let's get to the chat. What's going on? Misael, thanks for bringing that up. My dad had cancer 4 years ago at stage 4, and he's still kicking. Yeah. Hey, man, we don't have to die from any, when the doctors diagnose us, that is just a signpost. That doesn't mean listen to them after. You know, when you're driving down the road and you're following the signs, right? Okay, drive 60. Okay, left hand turn. Okay, oh, there's a fork in the road. Okay, you don't ever continuously drive at that sign. The next sign says left turn ahead, and you don't just drive to the sign. That's like the doctor. You don't keep on following what the doctor's saying. Left hand, yeah, turn left, yeah, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn left. You know what I mean? You're gonna go off the cliff. So read the doctor as a signpost. Hey doc, I'm feeling wrong. What's wrong with me? Oh, you have cancer. Okay, cool. Next thing, you know what I mean? Don't drive into that signpost that is the doctor. Get that information. Now use your own intelligence, your own, internet and resources to now find out how I can naturally remedy myself. And the best way to do it is to come right here, people, right here. And I'm subscribed to Eva Fox Home Remedies. Eva Fox is very good. EVA space Fox, and very, very good. I just find that it's I don't know. I find that it's really well thought out, and it's fun to listen to. I listen to it in ×2 speed, so I can really get the knowledge in. So yeah, let's get back to the questions here. Okay. Marvy asks, many people get sick in winter from closing their windows and cranking up the heat. Yeah. Take a walk and lower the heat. That's right. Take a cold shower instead of always hot. Okay, now I want to talk about the cold showers, because the cold showers is very very beneficial. Okay, when you get into the shower, do it naturally. It's warm. Soap up, shampoo, do whatever you got to do, right? Hopefully it's all natural and not animal tested. You're in the shower. Hopefully you have a shower filter on. It's warm. After you do everything, turn it to halfway, turn it lukewarm. And then, you're just going to be like, ooh, this is kind of uncomfortable. Then put it back warm again. You're going to notice you won't need to put it as warm as you just had it. So you're going to start from hot to warm to, a little bit warmer to a little colder to a little bit lukewarmer to a little bit more freezing to cold to ice cold. And each time you go back and forth, you're going to notice, like when you go to cold, you're going to be like, oh my God, it's cold. And then turn it slightly to the left to the heat. And just a little bit of that warmth is going to save you. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. And then now for the next minute or two, you can stand under that water and then crank it up again. 2. Then, you're freezing. Do that for like at least 30 seconds. Get the lungs pumping and get the muscles clenching and the shivering happening. And then crank it to the left a little bit. You won't have to go as hot as you once were, because it's going to feel warm to you. And you're going to go, yeah. Before you know it, you're going to be standing in cold water and you're going to be fine. And now let me explain a myth about the cold water. They say cold showers create more white blood cells, so you're healthier, as if white blood cells are actually healthier. Now, just because we can look under the microscope and see something get sucked into the vortex that is the blood cell, it doesn't mean that it is there to help or that it should be there. Like I said, you don't see firefighters in a building that's not burning. Check me on that. Fact check me on that. When's the last time you went to a soiree, any kind of meeting, any kind of whatever, and there's firefighters around just casually drinking? Hey, what are you here for? Oh, I'm here to prevent any like small fires that may happen. Well, aren't you going to wait till I call you? Right? So what are white blood cells doing in our bodies if there's no fire? The thing is that we're always in a state of fire. So there's always these white blood cells. Now, to get rid of that, we can talk about that, proper nutrition, high iron foods, dark leafy greens, and all that. But the white blood cells from the cold showers, let's talk about that, okay? Now, when we take a cold shower, we're breathing heavily. Okay, the lungs, the motor of our bodies. It's the heater, the furnace of our bodies. We are hot, and as men, we are usually warmer than women because women typically have smaller lungs, right? So we're breathing heavier because of the cold water. We're flexing, which is always good. You know, when the muscles flex, it's good to squeeze out the pathogens and the bacteria. And so when we're doing the clenching and we're doing the breathing, we're in a heightened state of alertedness. Okay, so everything works better. The brain works better. Your thoughts are quicker. Your reactions are quicker. You're on your toes. If you want to wake up in the morning, take a cold shower. You know what I mean? So when we're working more efficiently, what else happens? Your your body is eliminating more efficiently as well. You see, people, man, I surprise myself sometimes. When I'm explaining this stuff and I'm writing it down, I'm like, damn, I'm good. Like, I've really come full circle in this health game. I mean, started over 10 years ago, right? So, and it shows that you don't need thousands of dollars and live away from home and stress out over tests just to do it, to help people. Okay, so if you're in the shower and you're in a state of heightened alertness and your body's working at a better heightened functionality, right? Your reflexes and all that, then also your body's ability to shed its own waste is also heightened. So the blood cells that used to be invigorated with iron and magnetically charged and red that are now dead and white and lacking nutrient and communication and magnetism are now floating around in your bodies. And you take the cold shower and then you look under the microscope and you say, "Oh, look at all the white blood cells up here." Well, yeah. Now you're breathing so fast and everything's moving. You're creating that engine inside of you. You're revving it up. You're detoxing faster. So cold showers are a great thing to do, but don't believe it when they say that it's because of the white blood cells. It's just your body's eliminating more efficiently. Almond Delight says, "Who in their right mind would bring a child in this world mess?" And I wanted to say to you, I used to feel that way too. My dad would come into my room and say, "When can I get a grandchild from you? We want to see, what we would look like through your grandchildren, whatever." And I used to say, forget that. I'm not doing that. Why? So that they have to pay taxes and go to war and have chemtrails sprayed on them and all this stuff, right? So then I thought about it, and there's two ways that you can go. One option is that everybody in the world stop having babies, stop reproducing. That way, we would have no slavery, no servitude, no taxation. There would be no humans left, right? Just everybody to stop breeding, and then boom, all the pain that's inflicted on us will stop because there'll be no victim to inflict it on. But that is, it's not the most sturdy, strong thought form. The second option is much better. Good people like us can flood the world with light in the form of children. And that way, within generations, if we fail, then they are guaranteed to succeed. Okay? If people like you and me, I'm in Delight, that are interested in the knowledge and learning and getting healthier, then we should be having mega loads of children. We should be having way more children than your typical meat-eating, go-to-war soldier mentality, racist-minded person. Okay, we should like really be like having kids upon kids upon kids, because if we raise 5 vegan children that don't care about race and are against war and politics, then those 5 children have 5 children of their own. That's 25 people that are going to meet like-minded spouses, and they're going to flood the world with happiness and light, right? So we can't hold back our gifts of our loins. We have to recognize that we are good people and that the world needs us to flourish. We can't just we of all people can't stop having kids. We got to keep on having it, because you know what, if we don't give birth to them, they're going to give birth to them for us. You know what I'm saying? Now, typically, these question and answer periods aren't too long. I'm trying to keep it within the hour, but we'll see how we do. Peace, peace, peace. Thanks, KT420. Much love to Masta for taking time away from his family to teach us. Yes. Hey, well, you know what? If I enrich you guys will enrich the world, and it'll help me. So, is it selfish? I don't know. Misael, thanks you for breaking down this sugar intake. No problem there. Queen B asks, what type of veggies are good for breakfast? I need a bigger variety than what I have. And it isn't normal to cramp when transitioning from meat. I get sick to the stomach now when I see some. Well, Queen B, if you've watched my transition diet, episode 5, and my detoxing episode, which was episode 6 of the green streams, then you'll know why you can be getting those cramps. It could be due to lack of hydration, and in the transition diet, I always say hydrate first. That way, that all the waste that you're about to get rid of, it's like a water slide, right? You don't want a squeaky dry slide for your poo to come through. You want to wet that slide, hydrate that slide, so you're gonna slip and slide right down that. You know what I mean? Now, I wouldn't recommend any vegetables for breakfast, Queen B, and this is why. The amount of fibers and nutrients found in vegetables are so abundant that it takes a lot to digest. It takes a lot of going like this for your stomach and a lot of going like this for your colon to move it through you, okay? Because there's so much to deal with. It's so complex. The network of the fiber of kale or a carrot, whatever, right? Now, what I would tell you to start the day off with is water, and then watery fruits, okay? Pineapples, pears, plums, apples, cherries, berries, papaya, mangoes, melons, anything like that, because when you're waking up, your body is also just waking up, right? It's getting over the fasting, the detoxing. It's fasting, and now you're going to break the fast. You're going to break fast. So, sorry guys, I've been vertical a long time, and I can't wait to get to rest. So, when you wake up, you want something that's very easy for your body to digest, but also something that is going to give you a lot of energy. And where are you going to get the energy other than those sugary carbohydrates, right? From the fruits, right? So you wake up and you eat the grapes and you eat the apples and you eat the mangoes, and you got a buzz, you got a sugar buzz going on. That is your energy. That's your carbohydrates, right? Fruits are carbs. So you wake up on those carbs, those healthy, whole fruit, colorful carbs, and then slowly throughout the day, you get more and more solid. You add in the carrots, and then the okra and the turnips and the beets, whatever you eat. I'm not going to say stay away, do the Sebi diet or do the this diet or that diet. I'm just saying in general, that is the rule of thumb. Start off watery and juicy, and then get more dense as the day goes, and then cook if you want to cook, and then and then get lighter. You know what I mean? The desserts should be like the fruity, more fruits and stuff like that, and just get back into that light. Or a nice dessert is actually like dried fruits, because the dried fruits, it won't have the no, I could do better than dried fruits for you guys. I can do better than dried fruits, because dried fruits have a lot of concentrated sugars, right? But it's so tasty and nice to have a handful of raisins before bed. But something good before bed, obviously, like a nice tea, right? A nice calming tea that's got nutrients in it. It's also got calming effects like lavender tea, chamomile tea, stuff like that. Oatmeal is great to take at the peak of the day when the sun is high in the sky. Very hard to break down the oatmeal. So very good to have it midday, not too late where it's too heavy. That's what you want to do. You want to start light, get heavy, and then end light again, but not too sugary. Okay, let's see. Okay, goji. Oh, you get to grow goji. That's good. Hey, did you guys know that you could freeze goji berry seeds and then take them out of your freezer, and then you can plant them in Canada or places like Canada and Germany, England, and Russia, and you can actually grow that goji berry and it'll survive through the winter because you have acclimatized it as a seed. That's right. As a seed, you programmed a winter into it by storing it in overnight. You put a seed in the freezer overnight, you take it out of the freezer, and you have just weatherproofed it. You had just made your goji berry seed ready for a winter. So it's really, 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 really cool to do that. All right. Yeah. Vegan Warrior says nothing before bed. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you should typically wait at least 4 hours before you eat something and then go to bed, because or else it's just gonna sit inside of you. And I know that better than anybody because I'm on call and I could eat something. You know, I'm so tired. My schedule is so off. I can eat something and then doze off and then be called to wake up. And as I'm working, I'm feeling the indigestion. I'm feeling it climb up my chest when I bend down to pick up stuff. And I'm like, man, I didn't get to digest that. Because when you sleep, your metabolic rate goes down. You know, your metabolism goes down. So you're not digesting the food. So that's why the last things that you should eat should be the lightest. So say you go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night, right? Say you eat dinner at 5:30, and the last thing you eat is like at like 6:30, and you know it's like a cherry or something, right? Something light. That those 4 hours are going to give it time for the cherry to completely break down in you, so that when you sleep, it's like compacting, right? Your body's doing what it does, and then when you wake up, you're ready to take that stool. If you pardon, if you let your digestion do the thing late at night, then you should always wake up with a nice stool, okay, in the morning, a nice movement, okay, because we were just sleeping for like 8 hours. I hope you guys are sleeping for 8 hours. Not all of us get to, because work, real life gets in the way. But during those 8 hours, your body is not resting. Your body is working hard. And so it's pushing out, it's building up an order, getting it ready for distribution. Okay, so a lot of people that have those morning releases, very good. Mind's Eye, thank you so much for the donation. I truly appreciate that, and like I said, I try to use these donations for light and to give back to our community. So thank you so much for that. Also, I wanted to make a correction from episode 5 or 6. I talked about coconut milk and how coconut milk is so unique, and that how coconut milk mimics breast milk. And I said I named a type of acid, and I didn't get it right, and I want to rectify that right now. It's actually called lauric acid. Okay, now lauric acid is found in breast milk, but it's very rarely found in nature. But coconut milk has lauric acid in it, okay, and it's very, very good for you. It's very good for building up the brain, okay. I have a little article here that I'm going to share. This question and answer period is very thorough, and I really, really like it. I'm having a very good time, and I hope you guys are too. Coconut milk comes from the white flesh of mature brown coconuts, which are the fruit of the coconut tree. Okay, now remember, I told you guys that young coconuts have the jelly, and the older it gets, the more solid and thick that coconut meat gets on the inside, okay? And that means that it's holding on to all the calcium, the magnesium, and the proteins and the fats, and when you press out the milk out of it, it's very, very thick and creamy. Okay, you can make whipped cream with it. I love to do that. Okay, coconut milk should not be confused with coconut water, as I just said, which is naturally found in immature green coconuts. Now that is why it is the healthiest water to drink, because the minerals that are found in the white coconut flesh here, this white coconut flesh is composed of minerals and fats, okay? And those minerals and fats are put together from the minerals that are in the coconut water, and slowly over time it sticks to the wall of it, and it gets harder and denser, and leaving less and less water. So unlike the water, the milk does not occur naturally. Instead, solid coconut flesh is mixed with the water to make the milk. Okay, so you press the oils out, you add some of the water back in, and then boom, you got a nice milk. Now, here we get to the nutrition content, okay? Calories, 552, 57 grams of fat, 5 grams of protein, 13 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber. Vitamin C, 11% of your recommended daily intake. Folate, 10% of the RDI. Iron, 22% iron, and it's white of your RDI. Magnesium, 22% of your RDI. Potassium, 18%. Copper, 32%. Remember, your brain is mostly composed of copper. Manganese, manganese, 110%. You're getting actually more than you need of manganese. Selenium, which is the second most abundant mineral in our bones, next to the calcium. There you go, guys. You don't need anything else. You literally could live off coconuts, okay? And that's what they don't want you to know, okay? So if you had a healthy mix of young coconuts and old coconuts to get these all, to extract these all out of, then you're sitting pretty. Because remember, a lot of these carbs and the proteins, they form as the coconut's getting to this white stage, right? So a lot of it is coming in like basic ingredients, and then as it gets older and older, molecules are being created and new ingredients are being created. So coconut milk, amazing. Anybody that has a baby should be pressing their own coconut milk and feeding that to their baby, especially if they can't produce their own milk, okay? The best juicer to do that with is a pressing type of juicer. I'm going to share it with you guys now. An auger type of vertical juicer, okay? That's what you want, a vertical slow juicer. If you type in slow juicer, then you're gonna find a lot of these vertical type machines, or these horizontal ones, but they're a little too small. So Omega is my favorite because it has the longest warranty in the business, in the whole industry. And yeah, they just make really good sleek designs. But like on places like Craigslist, secondhand places, you can find this very cheap, $50, $100, and you can cut up the coconut meat and put it down here and make some nice thick coconut cream. Okay. All right. So let me get back to you guys here. That was just my own little correction. Okay, now Inquisitive Bunny says, can you gain weight on a vegan diet? I'm only 100 pounds. I get so much negativity due to my weight. Now I'm guessing that's negative energy due to you being underweight, but you know what? I say screw those people. I don't know if that's you, Inquisitive Bunny, in your display, but you look like you're at a healthy weight to me. It's just, of course, from your shoulders up, but you look vibrant. Your skin is clear, meaning you don't have a lot of dirt and stuff under there. So hey, you know what I mean? Don't worry too much. But if you are, or if you just want to facilitate a healthier child rearing, child gestational period, or just better hair or whatever, then you do want to get more fats into your diet. I wrote down here, avocados, nuts, and oils are a great way to add on weight, and just eating a lot. Eat a lot of food, and just don't stop. A lot of hummus. You know what I mean? A lot of lentils, stuff like that. That'll make you gain weight. Um, but also for the other people on the other side of the stick, when it comes to the weight and our family or our friends, we really have to be careful about how we talk to them, okay, and how we deal with that. If you're gonna offend someone, that can just send them into that eating habit. Remember, they're eating for a reason in the first place, or maybe they're not eating, right? Or maybe they're depressed about how thin they are or overweight they are, and they want to make a change, but the constant negativity, it makes it hard for them. Don't be that added pressure. That's just going to make them stay away from food more or eat more. What you want to do is you want to offer them help. If they're overweight, you want to, instead of thinking up of a negative comment to say, why don't you go out to the grocery store and buy some fruits and vegetables and make a nice tasty smoothie. Be proactive in your friends and family's weight loss, or if it's their weight gain, everything that you eat with them, add some seeds to it, add some nuts to it. It can't help. But definitely the negative talk doesn't help, okay? Don't ever put people down. Rambo Jambo, I've heard rice has a mild form of cyanide in it. Is that true? Yes, Rambo Jambo, that is 100% true. But one thing about it that they don't tell us is that that is okay. Okay, here I'm going to explain it like this, okay? Brown rice and red rice, black rice, wild rice, whatever, they have cyanide in it, but they have the nutrients in it to balance that out, okay? The white rice is fractionated. It's been stripped of its nature. It has the bran and the outer casings. It's been stripped off, and that had nutrients in it. Not only nutrients to help it move through you, but nutrients to help it, like I said, bind to other chemicals, bind to other molecules, and to help create a balance in your body. So if you eat a disbalanced food like a white rice that's been taken off, the bran's been stripped, then you are going to create a disbalance in your body. If two rams hit each other's head, they'll be fine. Both of the rams will be fine. But if one ram hits the other one unexpectedly, then the unexpected ram is going to take a blow, okay? Maybe crack a couple ribs, maybe crack some like vertebrae, whatever, right? When the two rams are prepared to buck heads, there's no injury, there's no pain, okay? I say this because if you take white rice and you unbalance it, you make it not ready, not fortified, okay, not ready to take that hit, then you put that with your body, and your body is going to end up being the one taking the hit, because your body is the only one that's living, right? The rice is not alive, in the sense that once you cook that rice, you can't, do anything with it. A lot of the enzymes are killed out. A lot of the vitamins are cooked out of it, right? So it's essentially like a mass of minerals. So when your body that's balanced, that's trying to be balanced, clashes against something that's unbalanced, fractionalized, like a vitamin or a white rice, it's going to take that blow. Your body's going to take that sacrifice. Why? Because it's acidic or it's incomplete. So now your body has to take minerals and molecules from its body to complete the puzzle, and then to make it something that's somewhat recognizable, to then be able to address it and digest it and assimilate it. I hope that makes sense, okay? Another way to say it is computers, like this laptop, this phone, they are mere steps away from being a bomb, okay? But because it comes with everything else that is needed to be a phone, it doesn't explode. It's a phone because it comes out with all of its constituent parts intact, okay? So an apple has cyanide in it. An apple does, not even just white rice. An apple does. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. But at the same time, that apple comes with so many different nutrients and phytonutrients, that it is balanced, and it offsets the any kind of bad or negative effects. Now, this is phytonutrients of an apple. Now, these are the phytonutrients that are recognizable, meaning we know what they do. This long list of nutrients, I was trying to find something like more clear to pull up, but this long list of nutrients is only the isolated nutrients that we know what they do, what we know what they're responsible for. You know what I mean? So we can see little dots and specks, and we can say, oh, you know, that must be a nutrient. But because we haven't isolated it and like introduced it to another vitamin or another body or another living embryo or something like that, something that has biochemical like activity, we can't name it. So vitamin B has a name because we isolate it and we know what to do with it. We know what it does to us. Let's see, manganese. We know manganese is manganese because we've isolated it and we know what it does. Cyanide. We know we can label cyanide because we know what it does. Remember, what you name, you own, right? So there's 10,000. There's over 100,000, over 100,000 phytonutrients in just one apple, but we can't name them all because we don't know what they all do, right? So if that's just one apple, think about kale, think about grapes, think about cherries, think about all of these different, hundreds of different types of foods with their hundreds of thousands different types of phytonutrients all working together in your body to create a harmoniously functioning body, okay? An environment down there for you guys. Now, I hope your socks are blown away because literally an apple a day is all you need to raise a child. But they say, oh, you need this and you need that. Well, okay, Tchaikovsky May says, what is good for autism? Actually, did I just finish that? Yes, so as long as, Rambo Jambo, as long as we're eating like the whole brown rice, the whole bran, all of it, then we don't have to worry about little things like cyanide, okay? Now, Tchaikovsky May says, masterpiece. Apple seeds, yes, they have arsenic, Newfie. Yes, exactly, right? All of these things, they have these little constituents. Even us, we have little parasites in us, but we are whole beings, right? So we have other constituents in our bodies that keep those parasites at bay or that keep us from getting sick. You know what I mean? So as long as you're eating that whole food, you don't have to worry about those little, constituents. Manny Pacquiao, the moon looks silver gray right now. Really, I'm gonna have to go check that out. Well, it is represented as a silver light as the sun is gold. Now let's get back to the questiones. Let's see, that's that chat. Okay. Rambo, no. Somebody says, what is good? Tchaikovsky May says, what is good for autism? What is good for autism is a vegan diet, lots of probiotics and enzymes, and getting rid of, healing up the gut, okay? The gut leaking is, the number one form for that negative information to be transmitted through the brain via the vagus nerve, and to cause a relapse, a delay, a disconnect. You know what I mean? So what we want to do for autism is we want to get them fully hydrated, get them off the BS diet, the processed foods, the sugars. And it's sad because the more mentally stiff somebody is, the more mentally degraded they are becoming, the less we give them to do. You know what I mean? We don't engage them as much. We treat them as kids. We put them in autism centers with kids toys and finger paintings, and you know what I mean? We're not challenging them and pushing the envelope of what we could really be doing, and we feed them Doritos. And I mean, I go to these autism centers, you know what I mean? Like these like these Aptis centers, and there's a bunch of centers for autistic kids all over, you know what I mean. But you go in there and you see them from, all ages, and they got the helmets on or whatever, and they got the padded rooms and stuff like that, and the TVs and stuff. But the diet, I mean, if it's not pizza, it's chips. If it's not chips, it's fries and donuts, and it's just really, really disgusting how just because they, you know, just because they're overlooked doesn't mean that we have to overlook their diet. You know what I mean? We could be trying to push the envelope with feeding them healthy, raw, vegan meals. If you switch them over to a raw, vegan, high prebiotic and high probiotic and high enzyme food, then their autism will greatly reduce. And that is science. You know what I mean? That's science. That's science backing that up. That's trials. Third-party studies, peer-edited studies. You know what I mean? This is not just me talking off the side of my bum. Let's see. Okay, back to the question. Rambo Jambo, how about sticking garlic up your rectum? I've heard conflicting testimonials, but never tried it. Be careful, I would say, because if you have open sores or wounds or cuts, then the garlic could get into your bloodstream, and that would not be good, especially down there with that ganglion of nerves and blood vessels and capillaries. You know what I mean? Quick uptake. I would stick with good old-fashioned warm water, and if you'd like, put some essential oils in there. Some lavender, some lemon, some grapefruit is a great one. But as long as it's warm distilled water, okay? All right, what's going on, y'all? What's going on in the chat? Yo, everything is love. What's going on? Everything's love. What's going on? How you doing? I see you're blocking messages. What's going on? I don't know what's happening. But anyways, okay, let's get back to this chat, and I am wrapping it up. I promise. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I want to get to a stream that Brother Sanchez is doing. So let me get to that. I got a couple questions left. We don't need to be blocking any of these messages because they're all fine. Maybe everything's love. I don't know what's happening there. Anyways. Okay. Justin Marshall says, how long is a good dry fast? I would say start with 1 day for any fast and then go to 2 days and increase time after time. Now, the trick is when you break the fast, what are you breaking it with? And I would recommend always be doing something a little bit healthier. So if you eat meat and potatoes, then you fast for a day, go back and eat meat, potatoes, and a pineapple, and then fast for 2 days, and then meat and pineapple, and then fast for 3 days, and then pineapple and potatoes, you know what I mean? And then fast for 4 days, and then go back and then just all vegan, you know what I mean? And just gradually make those steps, because the best change is the gradual change. Okay, so let's see. And then, of course, get out the dairy as soon as possible. Marve, can you gain weight by eating vegetables without dead animals? Yes. In fact, muscles weigh more, okay? So gain muscle weight. If you want to gain weight, start working out, start doing core exercises, start focusing on the supporter muscles. Okay, everybody wants to do the biceps, the exterior muscles, the superior, the superficial muscles that you can see. But if you work the interior muscles, the muscles that can't see, but the muscles that support the lifting of the bicep and support the lifting of the chest, then you're going to be beefing up from the inside out. And it won't be all on your bicep. Oh, why aren't I getting bigger arms? Well, have you tried just holding the dumbbells there, or have you tried doing your bench presses until a point you get shaky and just holding it at the shaky point? Because when you do the twitches, those little twitches is what subconsciously and inadvertently engage those those supporter muscles. And if you're growing your supporter muscles underneath, which far outweigh the superficial muscles on top, then you're going to be getting a lot thicker a lot quicker. And this is what we mean by train to be strong. Don't train to be big, right? Train to be strong. If you train to be strong, then getting big is easy. If you train the supporter muscles first, then by doing the awkward workouts, then when you get those strong, then doing the big muscle groups, piece of cake. And remember, when you're working out, always have a lower body workout. There's enough muscles in your lower body to work out some part of it every day. Whether it's your calves or your glutes, you can work out your calves or your glutes every single day. Okay, your lower body produces much more growth hormones than your upper body. Okay, especially because the biggest grouping of muscles is right here, the quads. Okay, when you do those deadlifts, when you do those squats, those are creating growth hormones, so that when you are working out your upper body, guess what? You're getting bigger way faster than the person just going in there working out their upper body with bird legs. Francois says, if one were to get a colonic, how do you think the body would react if you were to adopt a fruitarian lifestyle after? Well, if you are already clean like me, right, and then you do a colonic, then the fruitarian diet would be great. It would be another level up. But if you go to a 200-pound person, overweight, no real good dietary habits, and you say, hey, go fruitarian after this colonic, you may do them a lot of damage for reasons that I just spoke of, about the fruit acid, getting rid of too much of the grease, letting too much of that filth back into the bloodstream at once. You could inoculate them, and it could be bad. But if you do go to the fruitarian diet, eat the seeds, sprout the seeds. If you have an apple, take the apple seeds, throw them in water, sprout them, and then eat them. That's maximum benefit. If you're just on the run and you're eating, chew up those seeds and get those oils out of the seeds, get those omega-3s, get those fatty acids out. That way you're protecting your gums, transporting the nutrients, you're getting those proteins, and you're eating the whole food. Yes, I've eaten apple seeds my whole life too, even orange seeds, all of the seeds, man. Marvy, what about dried fruits? Well, those are great. Just make sure that they're sulfite-free, okay? Sulfite-free, organic dried fruits. They're great. Sun-dried is the best because the sun is giving the full band of electromagnetic light, the ones that we can't see, and it's like invigorating with it while it's drying it out. So there's like a give and take relationship there. Whereas if we just put like, grapes in the shade and like, or in a dehydrator, it's just simply taking that electric water out, and you want that electricity. Now the sun will invigorate and re-electrify that that dried fruit. So sun-dried is definitely the best. Now dried fruits can be mixed with nuts, and that's great because the nuts have fat and the dried fruits have oils and sugars, and they'll bind. That's fine, but it's only when you mix the the nuts with wet fruits and wet stuff that it becomes problematic, because like we said, the fats are the hardest to break down. They make it through your body, like we've said. So if you're eating a bunch of nuts and you just get a stomach full of just like heavy fat and protein, hard to break down, if you have like fruits with that, it's just going to create havoc down there. It's not a really good way to let the fruits break down by itself and to let the nuts break down by itself. Mixing them, it creates a lot of gas, in a nutshell. Okay, now someone said, it was a lady out there, said that if you have dried fruits, you have to watch out because they could be lacking enzymes, okay? And if they don't have enzymes, it won't break down, and you just have a bunch of dried fruits in your system, just like a clump there, like gum, okay? But the thing is, I'm just going to read this excerpt. Enzyme research has revealed the importance of raw foods in the diet. The enzymes in raw food helps to start the process of digestion and reduce the body's need to produce digestive enzymes. Remember, the body produces digestive enzymes, okay? And if we're eating cooked steak and sugar sour kids and Oreos all day, then your body has to produce its own enzymes, which is very exhausting and taxing on the body to break it down, okay? So the enzymes in raw food help start the process of digestion and reduce the body's need to produce digestive enzymes. All enzymes are deactivated at a wet heat temperature of 118 degrees Fahrenheit and a dry heat temperature of about 150 degrees. It is one of those happy designs of nature that foods and liquids at 117 degrees can be touched without pain, but liquids over 118 degrees will burn. Thus, we have a built-in mechanism for determining whether or not the food we eat will be alive or not. Will it have enzymes in it or not? And a good way to think about that is if you have a potato and you're cooking your sweet potato, your purple potato for your child. If you can put your finger in and not burn, it's probably fine. But if it's boiling and you put it in and it's like, ow, then you probably have overcooked the potato and you have overcooked the enzymes out of it. And now your daughter or son is going to be eating that mass of carbs and called potato, and it's not going to be able to digest and break down as it would out in nature. Instead, your body's going to have to work hard to do it, and that's the taxation, okay? That's where we age. Supplement episode, okay? Now, in the beginning, I explained about the 180 degrees and relating to supplements. It said supplement is anything less than 180 degrees. And I want you to think about a whole food, 360 degree, a clock, right? Coming full circle. If you take anything less than 180 degrees, that's less than half. If you take a food that is debased by less than half, then that is a supplement. So if you cook a food, right, you have rice and you boil it, you are now creating in some in some terms of the word a supplement, in some definitions of the term a supplement. But the reason why it is different than a supplement is that by definition a supplement is supposed to help the whole function, whereas the rice is still like a supplement, how it's fractionated and it's divided and cut up, and it doesn't include everything that it should have. It's been cooked and boiled down. It doesn't have that rice, that broken down rice. It doesn't have anything to help you. So they say take a vitamin. It's a supplement. It has less than half of what should be in there, but it's supposed to help your hair grow. It's supposed to help your digestion. It's supposed to help your eyesight, right? That's what's supposed to be a supplement. But I blew the lid way off of the supplements last time. And I said to you, if you are a healthy, whole foods eating person, then you should never supplement unless we're talking about probiotics and other things that I explained in the episode. So the 180 degrees, if you are eating a food that you have cooked and boiled out and it is less than half, less than 180 degrees, then it then falls into the realm of not food, because food should fuel, okay? That should fuel you, and if it's not fueling, it's taking away. Adam Geringer says, do you know about what to do about diabetes? My dad said he was diagnosed with diabetes, and he says it's irreversible, but now you know that anything can be reversed. You're here. Well, immediately, number one, Adam Geringer, tell him to stop eating eggs, okay? The eggs, the carcinogens in the eggs, and the the concentrated proteins are wreaking havoc on your. It's basically taxing your organs, and it's trying to get it out of you as quick as possible. Okay, so the eggs are the #1 cause to the diabetes type 2. Another thing is obviously the processed deli meats and the processed foods, the sugars, the candies, stuff like that. Okay, so if you sit down, if you wake up and you have eggs for breakfast, white rice for dinner, and in between candy, chips, and stuff like that, fried corn chips, stuff like that, then you're going to be feeding the diabetes. The best way is to just go to a vegan diet, but not just a vegan diet. A vegan diet that doesn't include a lot of sugars and a lot of high fried foods, you know what I mean? A lot of processed meats and stuff like that. Otherwise, you're just going to be adding to the problem. But there is, I think they're great documentaries. Forks over knives. Vegucated is a really good one. There's a bunch of what the health, food matters. There's a bunch of oh yeah. There's a bunch of docs. Sorry guys, I'm just here for a while. There's a bunch of documentaries that are going to explain and really open your eyes to the fact that diabetes type 2 and even type 1 is reversible, and we can do a lot to prevent it. And we just have to stop eating what our parents ate, what they fed us. Willie Littlejohn says, what was that probiotic company that I named? They didn't get it. Let me pull up the screen for you, feller, right now. All right, this is it. Now this is Ozumex, right? Ozumex, Osumex, and they got seaweed in here, kombu, fucus, brown algae, hibamata from Norway, shiitake. They got mushrooms, shiitake, maitake, or maitake, agaricus, Brazil merle, vegetables, kale, cabbage, broccoli. You know, it's so much. Grains and cereals, they have stuff that are all plant-based, and then these biotics are just, through the fermentation process, they're expanding all of it. So say you got some see unpolished rice. Unpolished, that means brown rice. Polished rice is white rice, because all the brown's been taken off of it. So they got the whole rice in here. They even got the soya bean, which is completely fine to eat if it's been fermented by something else, and broken down by something else first. So these probiotics expand. They expand the nutrient density. Okay, if you crack a brick, now you have tons of sand. Okay. What is it called? Surface area. Okay. Now your surface area. Oh, perfect. Now, if this here on the left, the cube, right? If that's the food that you're eating normally, right? What the probiotics and the enzymes do is it unfolds the box. So now they can get inside of it, on top of it, around it. And now suddenly there's much more food to eat than you could if you were just able to touch the outside of this box. So that's basically the science behind it. LB17 live probiotics. It's amazing. They're expensive, but you get what you pay for. Okay? You get what you pay for. Am I crazy, or do apple seeds taste like chlorine? I've never tasted that before. I've tasted them quite bitter, but we never know. Some people, with some people, what's that herb? Coriander. With some people, coriander tastes like soap. Nutritionalfacts.org is a great vegan website which changed my life and health. Nutritionalfacts.org. Let's see if I've ever. Nutritionalfacts.org. Let's see if I've ever run into that. website. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, Michael Greger, he has my respect. I gotta say, he does come out and talk about you know, keto diets, paleo diets, meat eating diets, and in the end, he's always saying vegan diets are just the best way to go. So yeah, nutritionfacts.org, definitely a really good and reliable website, right? Reliable, that's the thing, right? Okay. Back to the questions, and we are wrapping it up, guys. We're getting to the end. I can see the light, and I am excited. I'm hoping that this has been a really good episode for you guys. I've enjoyed it. Kem Jones asked, kimchi is fermented. Any good properties? Well, huh. Yes, because it's been fermented. What water has it been fermented in? Has it been fermented in high um, fluoridated, high chlorinated water, or pure water? You know what I mean? But either way, the kimchi, the basics, like the premise of taking a Napa cabbage and mixing it with water and maybe some salt, and fermenting that and adding it with other spices, very, very, very good. But remember, vegan kimchi is the only way to go. Otherwise, you're going to be just doing more harm than good. You want the kimchi for your probiotics in your gut bacteria. But the shrimp or the krill or whatever it's in it, the oyster, whatever they put in it, is going to deplete your gut bacteria. It's going to make it, you know, not good. So it's like a double-edged sword. So might as well just get some vegan kimchi. Yampelis Midi asks, eggs and oatmeal and mango on morning for power to the gym. And I would say no, emphatically no. Thank you very much, and I don't want to discourage anybody from adding their 2 cents. But the reason is eggs. I just told you. I mean, super bad. It's a carcinogen. Oatmeal, way too heavy. Way too heavy. It's got the carbs, but so do berries, right? So do mangoes, right? Mango, that's better. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you were to wake up and drink your water and then eat a mango and then maybe 2 hours later go to the gym, that's great. But we should never eat before the gym. It's such an old and outdated thought to say, oh, you know, load up on the carbs and so that I can work out. What happens when you eat is that your body goes into a parasympathetic mode. And when your body's in a parasympathetic mode, it doesn't want to exert energy. It doesn't want to try. All it wants to do is just sit back and digest and just relax and stretch out. You know what I mean? Like after a nice big Thanksgiving meal, right? So what you want to do is actually, you kind of want to be on the more starving side. You want your stomach to be a little bit more hurting. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I can really eat right now. Time to go to the gym. When you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I could really eat, your stomach is basically like, it's like getting smaller. First of all, it's contracting and it's convulsing because it's shedding. I've said this time and time again. When we're detox, sorry guys, feels like I haven't stopped talking for like a long time. When we are detoxing, when we are fasting, when we're not eating, we're shedding. We're shedding unused or dead blood cells. We're shedding organ lining, all of that stuff, right? So while that's happening, that would be a great time to work out, because at that time we're heating our bodies up and we're getting that waste out. It's like we're incinerating the waste, right? The bacteria that are sensitive to the heat, the oils, the lipids that get hard when it's cold. This is a great time to work out and get the body really warm, to really add to that flush. It's like you know, being lined with wax, you know what I mean? And the wax is the mucus, you know, and the dead stuff. When you warm up your body, the wax will start to drip down, and the warmer and warmer it gets, the faster and faster that wax is just going to drip. And the wax is the bacteria, remember. So don't eat before the gym, eat after the gym, guys. After the gym, you want to take in your high nitrogen foods, right? Your high protein foods, right? So your dark leafy green stems, The stems of the dark leafy greens are great. Fruits are great to add the hydration right back in, because you've dehydrated yourself. Now your cells are like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, I can't talk to anybody. You know, remember, water carries vibration. Water carries resonance. So if your body's dried out after the workout, you're sweating it out, then it's hard for your body to communicate because there's no water in it. Okay, so reload with your water. Fruits, you know, got a lot of water in it, a lot of antioxidants in it, and proteins in it, and omegas. The stalks, the nuts, all of these things, that's going to give your body the nitrogen that it needs to rebuild its body. Get the hemp, the hemp seeds, the flax seeds, get those omega acids, and get the amino acids in you. Hemp seeds, people, get the amino acids. Hemp seeds has a perfect amino acid profile, which means that when your body gets it, it's going to take this amino acid, that amino acid, this one, and your body's going to create its own protein, okay, for you. And that's what we should be doing, just like the animals create its own protein for them, okay? All right, now that brings me to the end of this, and wow, you guys have more gems than some kings do right now, okay, from these past lessons, okay? So take that, go out into the world, and be fruitful with that knowledge, okay? Much love to everybody that joined. Thank you very much for the super chat donation again, Mind's Eye. I really appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that came in and to learn a little something from the man, mass peace. Know what I'm saying? Next time, what I've already said this. I usually do health streams, the green stream, every Thursday. But with the amount of snow that's coming in this week, might not be able to live up to that promise. But as soon as I can after that, I will. I promise you. And it's going to be one of the most stimulating, one of the most eye-opening, breathtaking, world and paradigm-shattering streams yet. So much love, peace, power, and protection. And like I always say, eat to live. Don't just wake up to eat. Eat so that you can wake up better the next day. Okay? I am health. I am love. I am light. I am friends with abundance. My reality is created through me. I explore happy thoughts. I often wonder what my life would be like with an abundance of wealth. The Creator creates limitless infinities, and the health and the wealth and abundance and the love that I feel is created in the same manner. Thank you. Peace.